Unit 3 Real World Interfacing with ARM7 based microcontroller Part 4 Interface keypad with LPC2148 ARM7. So first we will see what is keypad. So keypad is a set of buttons that are arranged in a block or a pad which usually bear a digits, symbols and usually a complete set of alphabetical letters. If it mostly contain number, then it can also be called as a numeric keypad. Here we are using 4x4 matrix keypad. Keypad is used as an input device to read the key pressed by the user and to process it. 4x4 keypad consists of 4 rows and 4 columns. Switches are placed between the rows and columns. A key press establishes a connection between corresponding rows and column between which the switch is placed. In order to read the key press, we need to configure the rows as an output and columns as an input. So the columns are read after applying signals to the rows in order to determine whether or not a key is pressed, and if pressed, then which key is pressed. For more information about the keypad and how it is used, we will see it. So 4x4 matrix keypad, it consists of set of push buttons which are interconnected. The matrix keypad consists of set of push buttons which are interconnected, while in 4x4 matrix keypad there are 4 push buttons in each of the 4 rows, and the terminals of the push button are connected according to its basic construction. In first row, one terminal of all 4 push buttons are connected together, and another terminal of 4 push buttons are representing each of 4 column. Same goes for each row, so we are getting 8 terminals to connect with a microcontroller. Now the figure shows how to interface 4x4 matrix keypad to 2 ports. The rows are connected to an output port and columns are connected to the input. To detect a pressed key, the microcontroller grounds all the rows by providing zeros to the output latch, and then it reads the columns. If the data read from the column is D3 to D0 is 1111, that is D3, D2, D1, D0, these all values are 1111, then no key has been pressed and the process continues until a key press is detected. However, if one of the column bits has a 0, this means that a key press has occurred. For example, if D3 to D0 is 1101, that means the key in the D1 column has been pressed. After key press is detected, the microcontroller will go through the process of identifying the key. Starting with the top row, the microcontroller grounds it by providing a low to row D0 only. Then it reads the column. If the data read is all 1, then no key in that row is activated and the process is moved to the next row. It grounds the next row, reads the column and checks for any zeros. This process continues until the row is identified. After identification of the row in which the key has been pressed, the next task is to find out which column the pressed key belongs to. So this is the arrangement of keys in rows and columns matrix. So keypad is nothing but a bunch of switches which are arranged in particular fashion. Now it is better to arrange the switches in more optimized pattern so that we will lessen the number of pins to monitor these switches. Now, if we observe this figure, then we can see a bunch of switches are arranged in the 4x4 matrix. Pressing a switch on the keypad creates a short circuit which is detected by the controller. Now that we have the basic of the keys that are arranged in a matrix, now the logic behind detecting a key press using a microcontroller. To detect the key that pressed, the two ports of the microcontroller are connected to the rows and column. The port which is connected to the row of the matrix is configured as an output port, hence making each row logic is 0. On the contrary, the port which is connected to the column is configured as an input port, making the column at logic 1. When button is pressed, it changes the logic of the particular column to 0 because the button causes a short circuit between the row and the column. As an example, let us say the key with the number 1 is pressed. This causes the D1 column to go to logic 0 as it shorts the row D0 with it. For port 2, the values are currently D3, D2, D1, D0 is 1101. Then 0 indicate that a button in the D1 column is pressed. So we have to identify the column now. Next we will identify the row. So looking at this picture, we might be wondering that the same output will be produced if any of the key in the D1 column D1 were pressed. To find the row which has the pressed key, the microcontroller grounds the rows one by one and check in which case the column is logic 0. So this helps the controller to find out which key is pressed. Now to summarize, when the key is pressed, the column containing the key is driven to logic 0. The microcontroller then check each row and identifies the row where the button is pressed. Now we have the basic logic behind detecting a key press. So let us look at an as we understand the basic idea behind the detecting a key press using a matrix keypad, doing it in that manner poses a few other problems which our algorithm need to solve. So debouncing, the main job of any switch is to connect the two terminals to complete a circuit, but the process is not instantaneous. So it takes some time for the switch to complete the circuit. Due to this, the signal code to the microcontroller is noisy until the contact of the switch make more proper contact with the underlying wires. So this problem is solved by using the capacitor and the Schmitt trigger. So it is better to use a software approach to solve this. Next is interfacing keypad with LPC2148. Now scan a keypad in LPC2148 development board. In case of 4x4 matrix keypad, both the ends of the switches are connected to the port pin, that is 4 rows and 4 columns. So in all 16 switches have been interfaced using just 8 lines. One keypad arranged by the matrix format, each row and column section pulled by high or low by selection J5, all row lines P1 24 to P1 27 and column lines P1 28 to P1 31, connected directly by the port pins. So in all 16 switches have been interfaced using just 8 lines. One keypad arranged by the matrix format, each row and column section pulled by high or low by the section J5, all row lines and column connected directly by the port lines. So this is a pin assignment with LPC2148. Now the rows 4x4 matrix lines and LPC2148 lines. Now row 0, row 1, row 2 and row 4. And LPC2148 lines are P1.24, that is port 124 line, port 125, port 126, port 127. Now for column 0, 1, 2, 3, port 128, 29, 30 and 31. Now this is 4x4 matrix keypad. Now the circuit diagram to interface the keypad with LPC2148. So this is a circuit diagram to interface a keypad with LPC2148. Here the port 1, 27, 26, 25, 24 pins are connected to the switches. Then port 1, 28, 29, 30, 31 are also connected. The crystal oscillator is shown here with two capacitor. Also the VSS 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is also shown here. The VDD 3.3 volt supply is given. The matrix form keypad is here, which has a push buttons. So next is source code. The interfacing keypad with LPC2148 program is very simple and straightforward. That scan keypad rows and column. When the row and column are detected, then it will display in the PC through UART 0. The C program are developed in the Keil software. So first procedure for this is, first is start, wait for the key press event, then identify the column, then identify the row, and wait for the key release event, end. This is a simple process. So next is C program to interface a 4x4 matrix keypad using LPC2148. Now here title is program for keypad interfacing. Now hash include keypad.h, hash include UART utility.c, extern void delay void, unsigned character row data column data, then unsigned character message 44, it is 0 to 9 and ABCDE. Then next is V void main VPB div is 0x02. So this is the code for interfacing keypad with the ARM7. Now we will see the steps. So to compile the above C code, we need the Keil software that must be properly set up, and a project with correct setting must be created in order to compile the code. To compile this code, the C file must be added to the project. In Keil software, we want to develop or debug the project without any hardware setup. We must compile the code for generating hex file. In debugging mode, we want to check the port output without LPC2148 development board. The FlashMagick software is used to download the hex file into microcontroller LPC2148 through UART 0. Now testing the keypad with LPC2148. Now give plus 3.3 volt power supply to LPC2148 development board. Then the serial cable is connected between the development board and the PC. Open the hyperterminal screen, then select which port we are using and set the default setting. Now the screen should show some text message and it will display which key is pressed in keypad. If we are not reading any text from UART 0, then just check the jumper connection and just check the serial cable is working. Also check the keypad keys are properly working or not. Otherwise, you just check the code with debugging mode in Keil. If we want to see more details about debugging, just see the videos. Now, the LPC we will see this program by using Keil software. After finishing the theory part, next is LPC 2148 32-bit ARM 7 TDMI processor, GPIO ports and register. So first we will see the introduction. The general purpose input output, that is GPIO, is a pin on IC, that is integrated circuit. It can either input pin or output pin, whose behavior can be controlled at the run time. A group of these pins is called a port. That, for example, port 0 of LPC 2148 has 32 pins. The initial step towards LPC 2148 programming is an arrangement of the GPIO pins. So, the general purpose input output pin in LPC 2148 include P0.0 to P0.31 and P1.16 to P1.31, and actually these pins are available based on the alternate function utilization. Now port 0 and port 1 are 32-bit input output ports, and every bit of this port can be controlled by an individual direction. The operation of port 0 and port 1 depend upon the function of the pin that is selected using the pin connected block. In port 0, pins like P0.24, 26 and 27 are not obtainable, whereas in port 1 the pins 0 to 15 are not obtainable. Here both the pins like port 0 and port 1 are controlled by the two groups of the register. So the LPC 2148 has two 32-bit general purpose input output ports, port 0 and port 1. Now in port 0 is also 32-bit port. Now out of these 32 pins, 28 pins can be configured as either general purpose input or output. One of these 32 pins, that is P0.31, can be configured as a general purpose output only, and 3 of these pins, that is 24, 26, 27, are reserved, so they are not available for the user use. Also these pins are not mentioned in the pin diagram. Now for port 1 is also 32-bit. Only 16 out of these 32 pins, that is P1.16 to 31, are available for use as a general purpose input or output. Almost every pin of these two ports has some alternate function available. For example, P0.0 can be configured as TXT, that is transmission pin, for UART0 as a PWM1 pin as well. The functionality of each pin can be selected by using pin function select register. Now port 0 pin do not have the built-in pull-up or pull-down registers. Hence, while using GPIO on port 0, in some cases, we need to connect the pull-up or pull-down registers externally. Now pin function select registers. There are three pin select registers are 32-bit registers, and these registers are used to select or configure a specific pin functionality. Now there are three pin select register in LPC2148, pin select 0, 1 and 2. Pin select 0 is used to configure port 0 pins P0.0 to P0.15. Pin select 1, it is used to configure port 0 pins port 0.16 to 31, and pin select 2, it is used to configure port 1 pins of port 116 to 31. Now we will see GPIO register that control the GPIO operations. Now fast and slow GPIO registers. There are 5 fast, also called as enhanced GPIO features registers, the GPIO registers, and 4 slow, also called as legacy GPIO register. GPIO register available to control the port 0 and port 1. The slow register allow a backward compatibility with earlier family devices using existing codes. Now, slow GPIO registers. There are 4 slow GPIO registers. IOX pin, that is GPIO port pin value register. This is a 32-bit wide register. This register is used to read or write the value on port 0 or port 1, but care should be taken while writing. Masking should be used to ensure write to the desired pin. For example, writing 1 to port 0.4 using IO0 pin, then IO0 pin is equal to IO0 pin 1 less than 4. Now writing 0 to P0.4 pin using this pin, then it is IO0 pin and nearly equal to 1 less than 4. Now writing F to this pin P0.7 to 4, it is 0x000000F0. Next is IOXSET, that is set GPIO port output set register. This is a 32-bit wide register. This register is used So this is a 32-bit wide register. It is used to make the pins of the port 0 and 1 high. Writing 1 to specific bit makes that pin high, and writing 0 has no effect. Third is IOXDIR, that is GPIO port direction control register. This is also 32-bit wide register. This register individually control the direction of each port pin. Setting a bit 1 configures the corresponding pin as an output pin. Setting a bit 0 configures the corresponding pin as an input pin. Next is IOX clear GPIO port output clear register. This is a 32-bit wide register. This register is used to make pins of the port low. Writing 1 to the specific bit makes Writing 1 to a specific bit makes that pin low. Writing zeros has no effect. Now for example, configure port 0.0 to port 0.3 as input pin and 4 and 7 as an output pin. Then IO0 dir 0x000000F0. Configure port 04 as output, then set that pin high. So IO0 dir, it is 0x000010 or 1 less than 4. Configure pin port 0.4 as an output, then set that pin low. So the LPC2148 is 32-bit microcontroller which is based on the ARM7 TDMIS family, and the general purpose input output, that is GPIO pins of microcontroller, are the first thing we have to understand. The GPIO pins can be used for driving the loads, reading digital and analog signal, controlling the external component, generating the triggers for the external device. Next is the example blink LED with ARM7 blink LED with ARM7 LPC2148. So LED does not emit the light LED does not emit a white light, but LEDs emit nearly monochromatic light, making them highly efficient for colored light applications such as traffic light and exit signs. However, to be used as a general light source, white light is needed. White light can be achieved with the LEDs as a 3 ways, that is phosphor conversion, RGB system and a hybrid method. So let us have a look to the at the example project where we will blink the LED connected to pin P0.10. So please make sure that this LED is connected in common anode configuration. Now the connection is given here. It is LPC2148 with pin P0.10 where LED is connected and the supply 3.3 volt with resistor. Now by writing an application to the blink LED, we have to follow the general steps. So first is initialize a microcontroller system which take care a setup procedure like powering up peripherals, set clock rate, etc. Connect necessary pin using pin connect block. The purpose of the pin connect block is to configure a microcontroller pin to desired function. By default GPIO is enabled, and then set or clear the bit of respective pin to turn on or off the LED. Now before going to the code, we will see what are the components required. Now we have an ARM7 LPC2148 development board. Then the board itself consists of few LEDs to test the program. So in this case we don't need anything other than the development board. But if we don't have a development board, then we may require the ARM7 based stand, LEDs, 1 kg resistor, power supply, connecting wires and USB. So by using this we can run the program. So what is LED? LED is light emitting diode, and it is most commonly used component usually for displaying the pin's digital states. Typical use of LED include the alarm devices, timer, configuration of user inputs such as mouse click or the keystroke. Now flash LED using LPC2148 development board. It works by turning on LED and then turning it off, then looking back to the start. So operating speed of the microcontroller is very high, so that the flashing frequency will be also very fast to detected by human eye. So next is the code for this. Hash include LPC214x.h, unsigned int delay, int main void, IO0 dir. Now here configure, this means configure P0.10 as a output. Now this is the code, and we will see now the explanation. So this concept program, this complete program consists of only few lines of code. Now we will slice down into the pieces to elaborate each line. Now hash include LPC214x.h. This means it include the statement adds the standard header file for all LPC214x series of microcontroller. All register names has been defined in this header file, that is LPC214x.h file. Next is IO0 dir. Now since we have connected LED to P0.10, we have to set the pin into an output mode. As P0.10 belongs to the port 0, the direction control bit in IO0 dir register has been used to configure this pin. Next is while this loop. Now in this never ending while loop, we first have to clear a bit using IO0 clear. So we will clear here P0.10 to turn the LED on. So this is how we can make P0.10 to become low. LED turn on. Next is IO0 set. It would make output high, that is LED turn off. For P0.10, we have for the loop in between which generate significantly a delay between the process of turning LED on and off. So here delay is added between the on and off. So to compile this code we need a kill software. The Flashmatic software is also used to download the hex file into the microcontroller IC LPC2148 through the UART0. Now how to test the LED? Now give plus 3.3 volts power supply to the LPC2148 development board. Then LED is connected to the development board. When the program is downloading into the development board, then LED output is working. That the LED is on some time period and the LED is off some other time period. If we are not reading any output from LED, then just check the jumper connection and check the LED is working. Otherwise just check it with the debugging mode in kill. Thank you.